Art was always my passion, and that was what I wanted to do in school. But generally, there were the comments that if you study art, you're not going to succeed or make it in life. A large part of the works I create now are centered or themed around culture, and mainly the culture of Benin. We know Benin is famous for their artworks and their bronzes, but how can we push the culture and tell it in new ways? And I felt playing cards is something that everyone can relate to, both young or old. I created a deck of cards because I wanted to promote the Benin culture, both locally here in Nigeria and in the diaspora. The Benin playing cards is similar to what you have in the standard friend deck. There are 54 deck of cards. Everything around the design is themed and centered around the Benin Kingdom. So the king represents the Oba of Benin. The queen represents the Queen Mother, Queen Idia, from the famous Festac 77 mask, and the jack in my design represents the Iyasi of Benin. Back then, he was the general commander of the Benin army. For the aces, you have like different symbols relating to the Benin Kingdom with short descriptions to better inform the audience or people who get curious about what these things might mean. So everything is themed around Benin Kingdom and their artworks. Cards retail for $14 US. Basically, I have to do more production because the demand for the cards has surpassed what I even produced initially. People are just collecting it because it reminds them of home. It reminds them of a piece of their heritage and whatnot. And for me, it's like a good place, and it's a good place to start, and it's awesome for pushing the culture. For instance, in this country, people, if they think of the Benin bronzes or the Benin mask, there are certain people that feel it's fetish and would not associate with it. A deck of cards centered around that still pushes the culture, but I mean, there will be more people willing to buy into that as opposed to having actual Benin bronze figurines in their house. I think it's important for artists now to keep the culture and heritage alive. Merging the old and the new is always a welcome idea. Let's face it, we have to move with the times. We're in the modern era. Taking Benin for an example, we know the Benin bronzes will always be the core and the foundation of that, but how do we push or promote the culture in new ways? So you can see people taking pieces or fragments of that and representing it. I think it's very unfortunate and sad seeing that people in Nigeria cannot access or see these physical Benin bronzes, and they have to travel all the other way. Much of what I know has been through reading books or watching videos. I feel they should be brought back to where they belong and accessible to people here who want to see or build up on what their forefathers or ancestors have done. For me, reading up on these oral traditions or looking at these pieces that these old masters of the Benin guilds have cast, I try to reinterpret or tell the stories in my own way, ways that make sense to me. So it's more of bridging a visual gap. We're basically feeding off what these old masters are. People have done this before me, people after me will do this, so I'm creating the artworks for myself and also for people that are to come.